Sunday, February 1st.
Tracking a system that moves through into the overnight with some snow, wet snow, and possibly some freezing rain. More details on those impacts coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, could U.S. policy changes unravel decades of progress in the fight against HIV? Some experts are raising alarms. Plus, Ishpeming is taking big steps with a $400,000 grant to transform abandoned properties into affordable homes. We'll have the details. And as NMU students head back to class for a new semester, we'll check out their newly renovated library on campus. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome back. Tracking a bit of a system that will move on through, impacting tomorrow morning, but really quick. Still on the above average side of things, at least for the next day or so. 36 for today was the high. The average is 22, but we will start to trend closer to the average for tomorrow. Still hanging strong to those upper 30s, but this is going to cause some issues because we're slightly above freezing, so the precipitation that moves on through will be a little confused, and there could be some freezing rain, some slick roadways. I'll break down all your details in just a few.
Kelly, thank you very much. Global progress against HIV is facing new uncertainty. Public health experts say changes to U.S. global health policy have disrupted HIV care for millions around the world. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy explains why those decisions could have lasting consequences.
For more than 2 decades, the Presidential Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, better known as PEPFAR, has helped build the global infrastructure that turned HIV from a death sentence into a manageable disease. But that system was shaken last year when the Trump administration issued a stop work order that effectively halted much of that work.
What the cuts have meant is almost a complete dismantling of the primary infrastructure for ensuring that people around the world have access to HIV prevention resources.
That infrastructure was largely coordinated through USAID, which oversaw on-the-ground HIV prevention, testing, and treatment in more than 50 countries.
You're interrupting service delivery in ways that are incredibly dangerous.
Miller says even short interruptions can have deadly consequences, especially for people who have been successfully managing HIV.
And it doesn't take long to be off your medications before you're able to transmit the virus again, and you often become very sick quickly.
Although parts of PEPFAR have since restarted under a limited waiver, Miller says the current strategy is far more narrow, mostly focusing on pregnant and breastfeeding women, while cutting off care for many of the people most at risk.
The current strategy essentially guts programming for the people who fall into those vulnerable groups.
Researchers warn the disruptions could lead to millions of new HIV infections and deaths by the end of the decade, underscoring that what happens abroad can have consequences at home. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
In an effort to increase the amount of affordable housing, the city of Ishpeming is using brownfield funding to help increase housing stock. Last month, the Marquette County Brownfield Development Authority received a $400,000 EPA grant to conduct environmental studies and pre-assess abandoned and contaminated properties throughout the county. They're using these funds to help ease the housing crisis in Ishpeming and K.I. Sawyer. Today, the authority approved a Phase 1 environmental assessment of a proposed housing development located on a parcel of land at the corner of Pine Street and Angeline in Ishpeming.
This is within the city of Ishpeming, this project. So what the Brownfield approved today was for Phase 1 environmental assessment of that property, so we can find out if there was any environmental contamination, any potential concerns for redevelopment of that land.
Being able to check these properties ahead of time helps developers and local governments better figure out what kind of environmental fixes a property might need. NMU students were welcomed back for the winter semester this morning with a newly renovated building on campus after 2 years of construction. WZMQ's Andrew Hans has more.
On this semester's first day of classes, NMU students made their way through a new pathway as the Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall housing the Lydia Olson Library reopened its doors to staff and students today. Hardin Hall now features 4 floors filled with more study rooms and lounging areas, a brand new floor of classrooms, the new home of the NMU Archives and Bomir Center, as well as all campus tutoring services now focused into one location.
So far the reaction has been super positive. We took a lot of time and effort when we were working with the architects to make this a very student-focused and student-centered space. And so it's really thrilling to see people already, snuggling into the study rooms and using the resources that we have in the building.
The roughly $31 million project had been underway since the beginning of winter break in December of 2023, moving most of the library's functions temporarily across campus for over 2 years, a time where students say they struggled to utilize these services.
Many of the students communicated to us that they missed having the library space.
Because Weston was packed the last semester all the time.
There was a lot of students that I know needed books for classes or needed to go look something up. I know a lot of my friends used to go to Peter White, or you'd have to kind of search around to find the library, which was kind of hard, so it's nice having that and a lot more study spaces too.
For some students, this is their first time even getting to experience the Lydia Olson Library.
I've walked through, I've kind of explored with some friends too, noticed a lot of other students doing that as well.
It's probably interesting for freshmen that are just now seeing it for the first time. They probably love it, but I like the fancy chairs, and they got a lot of cool stuff in here. Apparently the bathrooms are really nice. So
good to know. The university will hold a ribbon cutting ceremony for the building on February 12th. Although the library is located on campus, its public computers, printing, and book checkout services are all open to the community. Reporting in Marquette, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
For nearly a year, President Trump has been attacking Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, pushing him to lower interest rates. Now, the Trump administration has launched a criminal investigation into Powell personally, tied to his renovation of the Fed's headquarters in Washington. And for the first time publicly, Powell is hitting back. Wei Zhang reports on the latest details from the White House.
President Trump has attacked Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell for years, and now the Fed chief is firing back. In a rare public statement on social media, Powell claimed the DOJ's investigation is the direct result of his refusal to follow Trump's demands to lower interest rates.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
On Friday, the DOJ served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas linked to the Fed's multi-billion-dollar renovation project, and said in a statement U.S. attorneys have been instructed to prioritize investigating any abuse of taxpayer dollars.
Did the president ever direct DOJ officials to open an investigation into Powell?
No. The president has made it quite clear he thinks Jerome Powell is bad at his job.
The probe sparked bipartisan backlash.
The Fed has been the gold standard for that kind of monetary policy decision making, and Donald Trump is just burning that to the ground.
Republican Senator Tom Tillis went further and said he would oppose the confirmation of any nominee for the Fed until the matter is resolved. Powell's term as chair is set to expire in May. Trump has threatened to end it sooner.
I'd love to fire his. He should be fired.
He has also accused Powell of wasting money on fixing up the Fed.
It looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
A group of economic leaders, including former Fed chairs, issued a joint statement to say the Justice Department's move is an unprecedented use of prosecutorial attacks to try to undermine the independence of the Federal Reserve.
President Trump's national security team will hold a meeting at the White House on Tuesday to discuss updated Iran options, according to several sources familiar with the matter. The news comes after weeks of violent, deadly anti-regime protests in the country. President Trump says the option of a U.S. military intervention is on the table. Erica Brown has the latest tonight from the White House.
Tens of thousands of demonstrators continue to take to the streets of Iran in what started as protests fueled by the country's faltering economy and has evolved into mass demonstrations for regime change. An independent human rights group estimates Iranian government forces have killed more than 600 protesters and arrested more than 10,000, in many cases using brute force.
They are using military equipment from armored tanks to AK-47 to shoot demonstrators to death.
This video appears to show rows of body bags in a morgue near Tehran, with some of those killed during protests. Iran's use of violence towards protesters has drawn international backlash.
The rights to freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom of peaceful assembly, as enshrined in international law, must be respected and fully protected.
President Trump has threatened military action if Iran continues to kill protesters. And a U.S. official tells CBS News the president has been briefed on options for military strikes inside the country.
There seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously.
President Trump has also announced a 25% tariff, effective immediately, on any country doing business with Iran. It comes as officials say the U.S. is actively engaged in talks with Iran.
Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, we hear more about the efforts from Shoe Sensation in Escanaba, who are looking to keep active service members and veterans warm this winter. And a groundbreaking treatment is helping patients on the brink of blindness see again, thanks to a tiny drop of gel. We'll have the details on that as well when we come back.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Hard Rock is a name built to last. Michigan knows something about that. The Hard Rock Bet Casino app, that's built on trust too. So what you see when you sign up is actually what you get.
Don't believe it? Try the app yourself. If you're not up after 24 hours playing slots, then you get up to $1,000 back to play again.
Plus, you get 200 bonus spins to play Huff and More Puff. Wins paid in cash. No catch.
Hard Rock Bet Casino is here, Michigan. Roll with us.
Download the Hard Rock Bet Casino app today.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
MeTV presents Potter Poetry.
Oh, pony pucks, bull cookies, horse hockey, pigeon pellets, mule muffins, monkey muffins. That's what she said.
Watch Colonel Potter on MASH.
Hot diggity, hot saucy, hot mustard.
Weekdays and Sundays at 7 on MeTV 19.1. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We had a nice calm start to the week for today, but headed into the overnight and tomorrow morning, that's when things start to change. This system that moves through, there is going to be a time frame, probably at about 3, 4, maybe even 5 a.m. where we get potentially some freezing rain throughout Marquette County, a little bit out west, maybe a little bit earlier than that, and then out to the east, you could see that lasting into your morning commute time. The temperatures are going to be slightly above freezing, even closer to 40 degrees, so the precipitation that falls is going to be a little confused on what it wants to be, meaning we could get some wet snowflakes, some freezing rain, and it might be a very icy go tomorrow morning with that snow lingering around for most of the morning. There's a bit of a break, but then because that system moves through, then the northern and the northwesterly winds start to take over, and then the lake effect snow machine really gets pumping. This is when we'll have a winter weather advisory kick into play, and you can see even through Tuesday and into Wednesday morning, this is going to be a pretty steady snowfall, not looking at very significant snow totals, but we could have a moderate accumulation from this, and then it finally starts to taper off for Wednesday evening. So this is that future ice that we could be seeing again. Any type of pink that you see, you're subject to potential glazing of ice. There's pink even where it says 0, and then there's an indication of possible ice even when you get to a few hundredths of an inch. So it's more so the impacts over the amounts. Don't pay too much attention to the actual amounts, but this is enough to cause some icy roads and possibly some dangerous slick conditions if you're driving like there's no ice on the roads. You have to watch out for black ice as well. You may not be able to see it if it's hidden with some fresh snow on top of it, because there is snow following this system in the overnight. Now, once we pass that ice issue, then we get a winter weather advisory that kicks into play when that snow is behind it. So Tuesday at 7 p.m. through Wednesday afternoon, that's when we could see that moderate accumulation. We could be seeing about an inch or less from this system. Again, it's more so the wet snow, freezing rain for the overnight and most of tomorrow. But then once we tack on that steady lake effect snow for the entire day, basically on Wednesday, then that's when we could get the snow accumulation up to about 5 inches or so, especially into the Marquette and Lawrence area. So it just depends, of course, where you are. The lake effect snow is more so going to set up around Marquette County, but it does change pretty quickly. So pretty soon for us, when the system moves through, we spike up to that probable range. We still have that ice component in there, and then Tuesday morning onward is going to be snow and lake effect snow at that, advancing all the way now to Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. We're still into that probable range, so please be careful of that. Also, the jet stream is going to be bringing in those colder temperatures, so we have 2 cold surges going on. The one actually brings us back down to some more seasonal temperatures into the lower 20s. We get through the weekend with some more snow, and then that's when cold surge number 2 kicks in, sending us with those high temperatures down into the teens.
Kelly, thank you again. This winter, a nationwide footwear retailer is keeping America's service members and veterans warm. From November 1st through New Year's Eve, Shoe Sensation held its annual Socks for Troops campaign. Customers donated or purchased new pairs of socks, which will be distributed to current service members and local veterans. The Escanaba store collected the 3rd highest number of socks in the entire company, bringing in nearly 3,700 pairs, almost 1,000 more than the previous year. The store manager says the campaign has grown significantly over the last decade thanks to the community support.
There's people who actually do come in year after year and they'll say, take this 100 and put it towards the Socks for Troops that the military runs in their family. So they want to give back to people who have served. So it's gotten bigger and bigger.
Now the Bay de Noc Lions Club is delivering those socks to veterans in Delta County, Marquette, and Iron Mountain. Certain brands of socks approved for military use will be sent to an Air Force base in Las Vegas, where they'll be given to active duty units.
Wandered in here looking for a pair of shoes and saw the advertisement, and I have a soft spot in my heart for veterans issues. It's nice to see the community show their support for the veterans and get involved in community activities. We're all in this together.
Shoe Sensation beat its national goal of 60,000 pairs of socks, collecting more than 122,000. Doctors say they've saved the sight of patients with a rare but dangerous condition that can cause the eyeball to collapse. The breakthrough treatment was done overseas using an eye gel already familiar to surgeons. Tina Kraus has the story from London.
British doctors say this tiny drop of gel is helping people see again.
It's incredible. It's life-changing. It's given me everything back.
Nikki Guy's eyes had such low pressure, a condition known as hypotony, that her eyeballs were collapsing. She went blind in her right eye and soon started losing sight in her left.
It was challenging. I couldn't see to get around my house. I found it incredibly tough to get outside.
Treatments for a while now.
Her left eye still had potential, but needed to be reinflated. But the commonly used filler, a silicone oil, is hard to see through. So doctors in London tried something different, a clear gel called HPMC, used for decades in other eye surgeries.
The really different thing about this approach is we're injecting the gel in the back of the eye. And that had never really been done in a rigorous way. It works as an iron to flatten off the retina.
These scans show the eye before treatment on the left and after on the right.
And while that may not look like a lot on these images, the difference between this picture and this picture, with the retina being scrunched up or flat, is the difference between being able to see and not see.
Nikki Guy is one of 7 of the first 8 patients to see dramatic improvements with monthly gel injections in less than a year.
I used to take loads of photographs and be a keen photographer. I can do that again. I can see my child grow up at every birthday.
Doctors hope the gel will one day become standard treatment, giving hundreds, if not thousands of patients the chance to see what they've been missing.
Researchers at Johns Hopkins estimate that around 24,000 people in the U.S. are affected by chronic hypotony, and with more than 7,000 new cases each year. Still to come on your 19 News, we'll give you some of the biggest highlights from last night's Golden Globes. We'll be right back after this.
For the best pre-owned cars, come to John's Auto Market. If you mess up when I get it right, I swear. For the best pre-owned cars, the best service, and best detailing, come to John's Auto Market. I shouldn't have looked at her.
Every year, 800,000 children are reported missing. That's one child every 40 seconds. It's every parent's worst nightmare. Right now, there are 483 missing children cases still open. 483 families living in fear, waiting for their child to come home. You can help change that by donating your unused car. Find the Children works in conjunction with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, fighting to bring missing kids back home. Every 10 minutes, someone attempts to abduct a child. Every 10 minutes. Most parents don't think it will happen to them until it does. But your unused car can help stop it before another family loses their child. Donate your unwanted car today. Fast, free pickup, 24-hour response. Plus, you'll get the maximum tax deduction. Your car donation can help keep kids safe and bring missing kids home.
Call 800-671-9020.
Do it now, because every child deserves to come home.
If you don't have final expense insurance, this message is for you. Life Care provides valuable whole life insurance to help cover final expenses, medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance, available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call 800-309-8594.
For the best pre-owned cars, come to John's Auto Market. If you mess up when I get it right, I swear. For the best pre-owned cars, the best service, and best detailing, come to John's Auto Market. I shouldn't have looked at her.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. One of the world's largest technology trade shows wrapped up in Las Vegas this last week. CES draws thousands of global tech brands and startups, and this year all eyes were on AI, from live-in robots or flying cars. Evan Moon takes us inside the tech, putting intelligence on wheels.
Among all the smart robots, TVs, tables, glasses, and other AI-powered tech at CES in Las Vegas, the transformation of transportation had its moment.
AI is definitely the big trend at CES 2026, and physical AI in particular, which is kind of a new term for encompassing everything from self-driving cars to robotics.
This year, self-driving tech entered the fast lane with remote operators focused on safety.
When the vehicle comes in front of you, there's actually no one inside, but there's a human that actually brought it there remotely.
And straight out of a sci-fi movie, LG is turning car windows into smart screens, which among other things, display translated conversations with someone outside the car on the glass. BMW showcased Alexa Plus AI for your own more natural chat with your car.
Can you recommend some restaurants in Las Vegas?
Zio's is closest. Also, don't drive angry. Smart cars may soon be able to read a driver's mood.
Are they sleepy? Are they drowsy? Are they not seated properly? Are they eating, talking on phones? Are they angry? You name it, we can figure out how to detect that in the cabin, and that's a lot of what we show here.
And Sony Honda wants you to have more cabin space, announcing a 2028 model with enough room to turn traffic jams into game time. It's not just cars getting smart behind the wheel. AI is in everything from autonomous tractors to robotic mowers. It all had consumers at CES revved up about the road ahead.
The AI stuff is really unbelievable. The lawnmowers, the technology to make human chores so much easier is definitely there.
A future that's moving fast and rolling into everyday life.
Movie, TV, and streaming stars gathered in Beverly Hills for the 83rd Golden Globe Awards. Bradley Blackburn has more on the big winners and the big moments.
In a star-studded Beverly Hills ballroom, the star of Marty Supreme reigns supreme. Beating out fellow nominees George Clooney and Leonardo DiCaprio, Timothée Chalamet took home Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy.
I'm in a category with many greats. This category is stacked. I look up to all of you. Thank you.
The film, one battle after another, won Best Picture Comedy or Musical, Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson, and Best Supporting Actress for Tiana Taylor. Hamnet won Best Picture Drama and Best Actress for Jessie Buckley.
Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Golden Globes for Best Song and Best Animated Film went to K-Pop Demon Hunters, while in television, The Pit won Best TV Drama. Star Noah Wyle and creators honored real-life first responders.
Healthcare workers who are the real heroes.
Seth Rogen's The Studio won for Best TV Musical or Comedy, and the award in a new category, Best Podcast, went to a familiar name. Former Globes host Amy Poehler.
I'm big fans of all of you, except for NPR. Just a bunch of celebs phoning it in, so try harder. Yes, the Golden Globes, without a doubt the most important thing that's happening in the world right now.
Returning host Nikki Glazer roasted the room and the industry and capped it off honoring the late Rob Reiner.
Well, that's our show. This one went to 11.
A nod to Spinal Tap on a big night for Hollywood.
Another former Golden Globes host took home an award last night. Comedian Ricky Gervais, who won Best Stand-Up Comedy for his special Mortality. The hit show Adolescence also took home top awards in 4 categories, including Best Limited Series. Country music star Chris Stapleton hits the road, and HBO's Industry is back in action. Bradley Blackburn has more of tonight's entertainment headlines.
Stevie Wonder is one of those. Country singer and songwriter Chris Stapleton confirmed 24 tour stops on the calendar this year for his All-American Road Show. They include Nashville, Boston, Detroit, and more, with some dates featuring guests Lainey Wilson and Zach Top. Tickets on sale next Friday. Stapleton is nominated for 4 awards at the 68th Annual Grammy Awards next month. Some new rules for this year's Emmy Awards. The word television is dropped from the Outstanding Television Movie category. The Academy says to more accurately reflect cinematic material created for broadcast and streaming. The organization also revealed AI guidelines, which include the right to inquire about AI use in submissions. And there's expanded eligibility in casting and other categories. You can catch the Emmy Awards on September 14th.
I got a tip that there might be more going on underneath the hood.
The HBO drama Industry is back for season 4 with new episodes dropping on Sundays. The show reveals the underbelly of the high-risk, high-reward world of London finance. And stars say this season takes a wider look at the status quo.
The world has exploded. Anyone that watched the end of season 3 knows that we're kind of not in the world of Pierpoint anymore. But Yasmin's working hard. She's working hard for her marriage, and she's working hard for a new company.
Industry is filmed on location in the UK.
Now stay tuned. Kelly has our final look at weather after this.
Have you heard? Affordable healthcare is better than ever. And right now there are more carriers and plans to choose from. If you're between 18 and 64 years old with a household income of $25,000 or less, this message is for you. Right now, the government's Affordable Care Act is available for individual and family health coverage plans with little to no cost to you. Don't gamble your health. Call Health Care for All. 70% of callers qualify for a zero-cost healthcare coverage. See if you are one of them. Call now. Our agents are standing by to help you get the health insurance plan you and your family needs and deserves. If you're uninsured or struggling to afford your current health insurance, help is just a phone call away. This is not Medicaid or Medicare. This is the marketplace with the largest selection of healthcare plans from the Affordable Care Act. To find a plan that's right for you, call 800-626-9042. That's 800-626-9042.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure Outdoor.
I'm Drew Carey from The Price is Right here on TV 19.
Automakers never stop thinking about your safety. When they discover a safety defect, they issue a safety recall and cover the cost of repairs. It doesn't matter how old your vehicle is or if you're not the original owner. All you need to do is bring it in. Do your part by checking for safety recalls at checktoprotect.org.
I'm Sophia Murphy at the Capitol in Lansing, only on WZMQ 19 News.
And a final check of your forecast. The main impact over the next 12 hours is going to be that potential freezing rain, and then following that, the morning time will have some light snow. We get a brief break and then some more snow showers and lake effect snow at that for Tuesday night. So this system that rolls on through, you see the greens and the pinks, that is possibly some freezing rain, especially into the Marquette and Lance area. So just watch out for tomorrow morning. Careful walking and driving. The roads could be pretty slick and icy, and then remember, more snow after that. So we will have a winter weather advisory that kicks into play for most of the UP, more so the central and western portions of the Upper Peninsula for tomorrow night, lasting through Wednesday afternoon. So that's a possible steady snowfall for almost a whole 24 hours or so. So we're the cold, we have snow going on. It's a pretty typical winter week ahead, but then we look forward to the weekend. We go from seasonal temperatures, we're into the teens with some more snow and drying things out with cloudy skies for this time next week.
Kelly, thank you again. And finally tonight, Barbie's latest makeover isn't about fashion, it's about understanding. Toy giant Mattel has unveiled its first autistic Barbie with features like a side gaze to avoid eye contact and bendable elbows and wrists to help with repetitive movements. The doll's creator, who was diagnosed with both autism and ADHD at age 24, says it shows how minor adjustments can make life easier to navigate.
Having these kind of small changes like ear defenders or headphones to block out the noise, or a fidget toy to keep your hands occupied when you need to move a bit more, like really tiny things that we can use that make the world a lot more accessible for us.
Designers hope autistic children will see themselves in the new Barbie and that other kids will appreciate what it's like to be on the spectrum. That's all we have for tonight, everyone. We'll catch you back here tomorrow at 6/5 Central.
It's time to clear out the showroom for Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale. Find year-end savings in every department all month long. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, and flooring. Shop Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale while supplies last.
If you've been injured in an accident, do not settle for less. Call the Sentinel Group now. Our lawyers specialize in injury cases